Hello pilgrims, fellow travellers and adventurers. Welcome back to Theros Adventures walking El Camino del Norte. In today's episode, you will accompany us virtually as we step out on the trail from the amazing albergue in Güemes and head off towards the vibrant city of Santander. Following that, we wend our way along the coast to a quirky little place called Boo, and then we step back in time, following the path of the ancients to the medieval town of Santillana del Mar. So, are you ready? Let's go! So, morning, Captain. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling absolutely... I'll think about that. But, you know, we had an amazing stay at the albergue in Güemes.
Yeah.
It was, you know, you hear all the stuff, you read the stuff on the internet about cult and stuff like that. If it's a cult, it's a cult of the Camino.
Yeah.
It's a family who have taken the time and the effort to make an albergue that's an experience.
Yeah.
We got a bit of the history of the Camino, the history of their albergue, and the history of the man who's still there. He's a funny old guy. And
85 years old.
85, yeah. The music last night was amazing.
Yeah.
The choir was phenomenal. Well worth the extra couple of kilometers of walking each way. And an experience I will not soon forget.
Well, folks, people often wonder if it gets cold on the Camino and what they can carry to keep themselves warm. Well, yes, sometimes you'll start early in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's dark out, depending, of course, on the time of year you go. Or you're out in the evening and, you know, walking around and you've got a light shirt on. It's nice to have some sort of a jacket. We love to carry a stuffy jacket. It's down stuffy. I use Patagonias. I love them. They're very lightweight. They usually come so that you can stuff them into one of their pockets, and very light to carry. And when you need it, you can just pull it out, unzip this pocket, and there you go. So, stuffy jacket, very good idea for the community.
to honour and celebrate their lives and to pray for the repose of their soul. One thing about the pilgrim experience on the Camino is sleeping in a dormitory full of other pilgrims. Some of you might feel daunted by that prospect, and for good reason, particularly if you're a light sleeper. There are all sorts of noises that go on late at night, not least snoring and other bodily functions, but one of the most irritating is squeaky bunk beds. And we certainly experienced that in the little albergue in Santander. And I really felt for the pilgrim who was sleeping on that particular bunk bed. It was like the bed from hell, and he was trying his hardest to be as quiet as possible, but to no avail. So my advice to all is to pack a selection of earplugs. I like to use the softer versions of earplugs because they don't hurt my ears as much. But there are many different kinds on the market, so pick those that suit you and take a few packets, because you never know, you might be able to help another pilgrim have a good night's sleep by giving a new packet of earplugs to them. So no need to stress, and get a good night's sleep. Captain, what's it feel like to be by the ocean again?
It's going to feel great until about halfway through the day, when we've done about 30 kilometers and up and downhill, and we're not going to walk through the city. We're going to walk around the city because my wife wants to walk on the water.
No, I think that was your idea.
Well,
I don't think you can blame me.
Please. But this way, we'll have a good walk. We'll be by the sea instead of by buildings. The walk through Santander is basically a road walk.
Yeah.
Or you can walk around. Walking around is about 31 kilometers as opposed to about 15 to walk through. So there you go.
Off we go. Like a herd of turtles.
And there are the ferries.
Yeah, that's where we came in to yesterday. So I've got a bit of deja vu because we're coming to the same point that we disembarked yesterday afternoon.
Off we go.
Off we go. Far away from the ocean or a boat though.
walking along the water. It's a long way around, but
Well,
we'll get there.
But worth it.
One should walk. It's a question that we often see on different pilgrim sites, and I think really it depends on you, but the summer is usually the busiest time of year. It's also the hottest, so you'll find that you're often really getting cooked out there walking, especially on some of the higher elevations or the places where you don't have a lot of trees. The option is we like to walk either mid-April or mid-September starting. It gives you a chance to get away from the heat of the summer and at the same time get away from the busiest periods. You still meet lots of pilgrims, but you're not as worried about getting beds. You're not really baking out there. And, you know, it's just a more enjoyable time. There are people who walk the Caminos in the wintertime. Certainly there are fewer people, less crowds, but there's also less beds. A lot of the albergues shut by the end of October, certainly, and don't open until perhaps the 1st of April or a little bit later. So there is the problem of finding a place. You also have to have heavier clothes, a heavier sleeping bag to stay warm, and they in fact become more expensive because you'll end up staying in pensions rather than albergues in many places. Not totally against them. I wouldn't walk one in the wintertime, but maybe I'm just a wuss. Personally, I love the fall. My wife, I think, more loves the spring. So we'll do both.
One of my top travel tips for you is to pack a base layer, as you never know when you might need some extra warmth. For example, if you're setting out really early in the morning, or when you're up in the mountains and the wind chill is a factor to take into consideration. The one I'm wearing is from the Heat Tech line by Uniqlo, which is super value for money. They're quite thin and lightweight, but keep you cozy. The fabric is a wicking type of fabric, so it keeps you nice and dry. And they're very quick drying when you're hand washing your laundry and you peg it out in the sun and it's dry in just a few minutes. Oh look, Henny, it says you've got to reduce speed to 50 kilometres an hour. Do you think you can manage that?
I guess one of the things everybody worries about is what happens if I get injured, I get blisters, I hurt an ankle or a knee. Well, it is probably a good idea, and certainly for someone like me with my advanced first aid, I do carry a fairly complex first aid kit.
Here is Captain Brett, always prepared. We've just been to the pharmacy to get some more items for our first aid kit. Should I be worried about this trip?
One would want to look at weight, of course, and what you feel you personally need. I always recommend some sort of a hot-cold liniment, because if your muscles are really sore, there's nothing like putting a bit of that on, and it'll help you sleep. I always carry knee braces, like the elastic type, not the real heavy ones. I'll usually bring 3 different sizes of knee brace with me, 3 different sizes of ankle braces with me, that I give away on the Camino. If someone is having a problem, it allows me to help them get through and maybe finish their Camino. The other thing that I have carried butterfly stitches to help someone who had fallen or cut themselves. The first time I was on a Camino, I carried actual needle and thread for sewing up a bad cut, and I was out of butterfly stitches, and I ran into a lady who had fallen on the Camino, and I cleaned up her wound, and it was quite deep and severe, and I said, you know, I don't have butterfly stitches with me. All I've got is thread and a stitching thread and a needle. And she looked at me, and I said, I don't have any way of freezing it or helping you with the pain. And she said, I don't care, stitch it up. Well, I put 9 stitches in her calf, and she winced a little bit, but I think she had a lot of endorphins going to start with. And I got it cleaned up. I stitched it, bandaged it, and told her to get to a hospital when she could. I ran into her in Santiago, and she comes up and she says, look, and she's got the stitches in still. I'm going, God, you know, those have got to be taken out. And she said, no, that's a badge of honor. Thank you for helping me.
So that's all for today. Thank you all for watching. And for those of you who have liked, shared and commented on our videos, and of course to all of you who've subscribed to our channel and are helping us grow it. See you all next time when we head out from Santillana del Mar. But until then, take good care of yourselves and buen camino.